Addressing the closing session of the 4th TANA High-Level Forum on Security in Africa, the president said that Uganda is a good example of the former failed state that had collapsed due to, among others, religious sectarianism that started with the colonial era and went on to post-independence governments. He noted that because of the wrong political ideology that emphasized religion, all post-independence governments collapsed, plunging the country into turmoil, leading to the emergence of several radical groups, and it took armed resistance to put the country back to order.
Uganda was a failed state. If you are looking for former failed states, I have been presenting one here. And it has been caused to fail by so many problems, including religious opportunism. It took us, we young people, who formed a student movement in the 1960s, to oppose this, first of all, peacefully, ideologically, and eventually by arms, to defeat these moribund forces and create a new situation for Uganda. Uganda was able to come up.
He, however, said that the success in bringing about order depended on having a legitimate cause, and noted that if one has a criminal movement, then one can generate a criminal state.
If you have got the legitimized states, you must at least have legitimate resistance movements. Now, if you have got a criminal state and a criminal resistance movement, then that country has no future. Thank you very much.
Mr. Museveni further noted that the emergence of terrorist groups was not only an ideological issue but was a result of a number of issues, some of which are economic, social and political, that the continent needs to solve as a package to halt the manipulation and recruitment of the youth into extremist groups. He also challenged African Muslim intellectuals to take a lead in explaining to the Muslim youth the need for religious tolerance so as to separate the roles of religion and the state. Former Nigerian leader General Olusegun Obasanjo, who is the chairman of the TANA Forum, said that African leaders should learn to handle situations before getting out of hand, and said that some of the situations, like the emergence of the Boko Haram in Nigeria, could be mitigated. He said that African countries needed to handle the challenges of terrorism collectively, as the emergence of one group leads to the birth of the other. While in Ethiopia, President Museveni held a meeting with the Vice President of South Sudan, James Wani Iga, on the sidelines of the forum in Bahir Dar. They discussed matters of mutual interest between their two brotherly countries. This report was compiled by Amos Tarema.